CBS News Radio will sign off this Friday after nearly a century on the air. Hundreds of millions of listeners have tuned in over the decades to an organization that essentially helped invent broadcast news. Bradley Blackburn sat down with familiar voices to look back and listen.
Good morning, I'm Steve Kathan.
The voices of Steve Kathan and Deborah Rodriguez.
New Iranian attacks
Are familiar for millions of listeners. Part of the CBS News Radio team that's on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I've always thought that it's so important to get a thorough message out to listeners.
It's an American institution. I mean, it's a place where broadcast journalism was born.
For more than 15 years, Kathan has anchored the World News Roundup, the longest-running network newscast in history.
Just that sort of linkage makes you want to lift your game up.
The first roundup aired in 1938.
This is Bob Trout speaking to you from New York, opening Columbia's shortwave transatlantic program.
And through World War II, CBS News Radio, led by Edward R. Murrow, became vital for the nation.
Hello, America. This is Edward Murrow speaking from London. There were more German planes over the coast of Britain today than at any time since the war began.
You didn't work for Murrow if you couldn't write well.
Former CBS News anchor Dan Rather grew up listening to those broadcasts.
CBS Radio should be remembered for becoming a national institution. Very important to the development of news other than newspapers.
We're out there covering the war in Iran right now. What's going on there? What's happening in the Strait of Hormuz?
Dustin Gervais manages CBS News Radio today. We went to the old newsroom where Walter Cronkite once anchored.
This wall was the map that was behind Walter Cronkite when he was doing broadcasts.
And radio correspondents used typewriters and reel-to-reel tape to report history.
This morning, divers taken to the scene by another mini-submarine.
What we do here at CBS has continued from when we started in the 20s to today.
A couple of presidential inaugurations along the way.
People visits.
Yeah.
I remember doing a bunch of those.
For journalists who've covered it all, their own sign-off is a defining moment.
I think the heart and soul of an era in news telling is going to be lost.
You think about people who have done it previously and the history behind it all. It's been a real honor.
The voices, delivering the news,
I'm Peter King.
I'm Wendy Gillette.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper.
leaving their own legacy.
I'm Allison Keyes.
I'm Christopher Cruz.
I'm Cammie McCormick.
I'm Stacey Lynn.
I'm Michael Wallace.
I'm Linda Kenyon.
This is CBS News.
Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
What a nice ending to that, huh? CBS News Radio is also on WTOP here in the D.C. area. WTOP has said they are looking for a new national news partner.